This week, everyone's talking about the documentary created by nonprofit Invisible Children about African warlord Joseph Kony. It's gone totally viral. Now, Alex, the news is more, it's on the front page of the Wall Street Journal, it's on the front page of the New York Times, their websites, but not the sense of this man. The fact that it went so viral is news. So it's kind of news about news. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Anytime you get a big viral video like this, the news tends to be always in part about how many people have been seeing this. In this case, we have over 55 million views on YouTube, and I think over 15 million on Vimeo. So over 70 million people have watched this. And I think what makes it unusual is that for a lot of media organizations, especially those that cover Africa, the Lord's Resistance Army, Joseph Kony, I mean, this is all old news. They've been around for years. And so kind of the fresh angle on it, I think, from a lot of media perspectives is, wow, 70 million people are watching a half-hour documentary about an African war criminal.
And what do you think, what's like the secret sauce? How did this go so viral? How did it spread so far and wide so quickly?
Sure. Well, I think that a part of it was that the group Invisible Children, they already have a very large social media presence, and this was part of it. It's not like they threw the video into the ether. It was part of a very well coordinated campaign. They did some previews and. We're teasing it to kind of get people engaged. And then the video itself is a pretty simple yet compelling narrative. And the call to action that they're asking for is, help us stop this guy by sharing this video and donating to our group. And I think the fact that the call to action included that, hey, share this, we want to make this trend, that kind of meta aspect of it is part of what made it go viral.
And so it's kind of like a video chain letter, if you will. People, their call to action is very simple. You just got to hit upload and then you're done. And I guess maybe people get a cheap, quick little feel-good thing for the day.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot to it. You see this in different things. If you spend a lot of time on Facebook, it's every other month people have changed their profile pictures for a cause, or they forward a status update, things like that. And they do it for all sorts of various and different causes. So it's not like it's new. What makes this interesting is really that instead of a Facebook status update, it's let's share this half-hour documentary. And that's kind of the new angle to it. But the idea of sharing or using social networks to spread awareness of a cause, that's already well established.
Yeah, you think we're going to see a lot more of this? You think this is just is this the first one that's gone this big in terms of one? I know there's been huge events, the whole Arab Spring, going crazy on the web and viral, but this is an instance of not kind of a mass group. This is just one small nonprofit doing this. This is the first time you've seen something go this big?
Yeah, for this type of thing, definitely. And there have been other campaigns, but the videos are typically shorter or things like that, and they haven't gone nearly as viral, nearly as quickly. But with social media, with more people being involved with it, and with the production cost of video just going down and down and down, I think you're definitely going to see more of this. Will any of them go as far? This is a harder question, I think. I think when people's inboxes start to be flooded with this type of viral video, they might be less inclined to pass them on, and less inclined maybe even watch them. Being first to market can help in this kind of thing.
Well, Alex, you think this is going to have big impact on the situation in Africa, or, as I think the New York Times wrote, is this just an example of slacktivism?
Well, the slacktivism is an interesting thing. You always get, when this kind of thing happens, a criticism that just liking something on Facebook isn't doing anything. But I think you have to think of it as more like traditional advertising. The Old Spice commercials went viral, but of the millions of people who saw the Old Spice commercials, only a small percentage probably went out and bought Old Spice. And in the same way, even if out of 3 million people, you only get 100,000 who really want to get involved and get active, that's still 100,000 people who are involved and active. It's a small percentage, but that's still a lot of people and potentially a lot of money and time that can make a difference in this sort of situation.